maybe a broad one, Harris. Can you tell us what this week's been like with the changes of plans?
It's been a little bit different. I guess for us, obviously coming down to Melbourne a day earlier, for myself personally, hasn't really been a big difference. Obviously, I don't have kids or anything like that, so I haven't really had to worry about that too much. But, I think we got in a really good training session yesterday at the Collingwood facility, and then obviously had our captain's run this morning at Carlton's facility. The boys are feeling really good and really excited for Friday night footy. So, it's a little bit different week, and obviously there's been a fair bit going on in Brisbane, and guys have had concerns with the floodwaters and obviously the suburbs and that sort of thing. But very lucky to still be able to get on with our job and thinking about everyone in Brisbane.
Because you've only got this, one more hit out before round one. How much significance are you putting on tomorrow night?
Oh, I mean, we're picking out the strongest team possible. We're obviously going in with a really strong contest ahead. The Dogs obviously are a really quality football team, and they've probably had the wood over us for last season. So we'd love to get out there and play to the best of our ability, and put the things that we've wanted to work on over the summer into practice. There's obviously going to be no better occasion for that, I guess, than playing against the Dogs at Etihad. It's a really great opportunity, and there's no doubt we'll be going in treating it as if it's a real game.
Harris, how much of a step up do you think it'll be from the game against the Crows?
It will be a little bit. I think we sort of talked about it last night. We felt like we were able to really control our emotions last week in the game, and probably after half time, when we sort of were able to get real control of the game and understand that if we kept playing the way we were, we'd be able to win the game. But we also understand that tomorrow night's going to be against the Dogs, who are a really super quality team. Obviously played in the grand final last year. It might be a little bit more heated, and probably, hopefully a little bit of a closer contest. It's going to be a great matchup.
You sort of want that tougher contest going into the season?
Yeah, definitely. It's super important to really challenge yourself this time of year, and as I sort of said in the last question, being able to, I guess, test the things that we've worked on over the summer against really quality opposition, and get feedback on that and see how it's working and what we need to continue to improve on over the next couple of weeks as we make our way towards the actual start of the season. It's a really great opportunity to get that feedback. So, we're looking forward to the match. Obviously, to play again down in Melbourne in front of our Melbourne fans. It's a great opportunity for them to come out to the game. And I guess, we've been pretty unfortunate in the last couple of years. We haven't been able to play in front of them. So I'm sure there'll be a few there tomorrow, which is really exciting for us and for them to have them cheering us on.
Harris, just on your own game, you made a couple of All-Australian teams and then missed out last year. What have you identified as areas that you're looking to work on this season?
Yeah, I think for me personally, it's just finding that balance between stopping my opponent and looking to help out guys elsewhere. So a couple of times last year, opposition forwards were able to get on top of me and kick a few goals, and I probably lost a little bit of balance in that sense, and just, I guess, continually learning my craft, building my understanding of the game in different situations, and probably just playing a bit more of an on-field leadership role. It's going to help us as a football team in general. So, there's definitely been a few things that I've worked on over the last couple of months in the pre-season. Making sure that I can contain my forward from kicking goals and having influence is super important. But I'm not obviously going to try and go away from being able to make sure that I'm competing hard and assisting my teammates where I can.
How much were you hindered by your body late last season?
It was a little bit, I had obviously a couple of little injuries here and there, which were giving me a little bit of grief. But at the same time, I'm getting out there every week. I'm putting my feet out on the ground, and my ability to play the best of my performance was obviously down a little bit. So, I'm the one that's putting myself out there every week. And, I did a lot of reflecting at the end of last season and understood that I need to be better as a footballer and as a teammate to make sure that when I go out there, I'm playing as well as I can. I guess it's obviously frustrating to have like little niggles and that sort of thing that can impact your game. But at the same time, everyone's going through them. It's such a grueling and long season. Everyone's, not feeling 100% cherry ripe at that time of year. So, yeah, I took a lot of learnings from last season, and I guess I just can't wait for the season to start and to put that into action.
You seem like the sort of bloke that probably marks himself harder than anyone, but you did get a little bit of criticism late last year. Did you listen to that, or does it bother you?
You definitely hear things within the media. I'm not someone that's going to completely switch off from footy. Obviously, I'm on social media and that sort of thing, so you see little things here and there. But I think it's just really important to get back to knowing what works for you, and having the trust of my teammates, my coaches, and just being able to play my role within the team. I think that's going to be a real clear focus for me this season going ahead. Is just focusing on playing my role for the team and doing what I can do to be the best teammate that I can be. So, yeah, obviously, back end of last season probably wasn't the way that I wanted to finish it, but at the same time, I understand that I've been able to put a few things into place throughout the off season, and just really keen to get back to playing footy.
Just a broader one on your back line, but you probably got a little bit younger this year with Birch finishing up and Kitty looking like he's going to get that spot. Like, what sort of difference does that make when you lose a experienced voice like Birch there, and you're sort of trying to integrate another young fella like Kitty?
Yeah, it does. It does make a little bit of a difference, I guess. For Birch to come up here for a couple of years and just have a really calming influence out on the field in tough situations was a great bonus for us, and something that I was really able to take on from a leadership perspective, is to try and be that calming voice a little bit more often. So, there's obviously, huge congratulations to him on his career and that sort of thing, but you got to move on pretty quickly. And it was awesome to see late last year the emergence of Kitty coming into our back line, and, a perfect example of a guy just coming in, playing his role. And I feel like as a back line, we do a great job of just being able to simplify the role that needs to be played. So Kitty's obviously spent all summer training with us in the back line, and, we've been able to really build on that connection. And I guess me personally, I'm just really excited about what he can do with, his game and the work that he's put in over the summer. Now that he's had sort of that time to improve, I'm really excited about what he can do in these games coming up. So, yeah, it's great to have him there. He's obviously really crafty with the ball in hand, and we'd love to have it in his hand, 20, 25 times a game. But the underrated thing is probably his toughness and just his ability to win one-on-one contests. It's super inspiring to play with, and, really pumped for him.
Just one last one from me, mate, on Noah Ainsworth. What does having him available do for you this year? I saw he played a bit up on the wing last week, but presumably he's going to spend a bit of time in the back six. Like, what does his addition or return this year do for your backline group?
Oh, it certainly brings that toughness and just that grunt, I guess. That, not that I felt like we were missing last year, but it's always nice to have those blokes playing around you. He's a really fierce competitor, and someone that when you put him on a small forward, he's going to give it his best effort to keep him quiet and make sure it's a really tough game for them. So, him obviously coming back is a really exciting prospect for us. And as you said, he played on the wing a little bit last week, and I guess just having that flexibility to be able to play wing and potentially half back will open up opportunities for him, and it might even open up opportunities for guys like Stas, who last year sort of built his game on being a real lockdown defender, and then obviously having Noah there, who's quite proficient in that role. It's a good opportunity for Stas to hopefully get involved a little bit more offensively and bounce the ball out of our back line. So, it's great to have that flexibility there, and those guys are just super keen to learn. And I guess having Noz back, brings a smile to my face just seeing how much of a junkyard dog he is.
Sorry, Harris. Like, obviously the Bulldogs were the team that, ended your season last year in that 1-point game. But I guess, the boys would have been thinking about that a lot over the off season and the preseason. I know it's a preseason game, but there's a win tomorrow night. Is that like the first step towards, I guess, rectifying what happened that night, or, making amends almost?
I think so. I mean, obviously sort of, we did a lot of reflecting at the end of last year, and we talked about that 1-point loss and how disappointing it was. I guess for us, it's probably just a great opportunity tomorrow night to put into action what we've worked on over the summer. Obviously, it's sort of convenient that our last game was against the Dogs, and then this one coming up this week's also against the Dogs. So it's always nice to play against the best opposition in the comp, and obviously it'd be nice to get a win regardless of who we're playing against. But I'm sure there's a little bit of a fire in the belly for the boys. The way that last season ended, obviously losing to the Dogs, and just everyone's just really excited to play against quality opposition.